Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Since this morning, for the last few hours, I have been studying the agreement signed by Tadesse Varede with the Ethiopian federal government. 8 point agreement. I think most of you would be aware of the main points. It seems I was trying to read the agreement, trying to read the objectives behind the agreement. I think the Ethiopian Prime Minister, Prosperity Party, they have played a smart move against the TPLF. Perhaps that is why TPLF was not part of Tadesse Varede's inauguration ceremony in Addis Ababa today. So why am I saying that Ethiopian PM has made a smart move? Let's analyze the agreement signed. It seems TPLF now will have to be very responsible, very careful. It could face some problems, I think. Firstly, if you analyze the last few days' developments, it seems that PM Abiy suffered a setback because he could not protect his man from being dismantled from Tigray. Getachew was backed by Prosperity Party. Getachew was kicked out of Tigray. Firstly. Secondly, TPLF nominated Tadesse Varede. PM Abiy was hesitant to appoint him as the president. TPLF said, no, he's the man. PM Abiy sought public recommendations. TPLF said no. And Ethiopian PM backed off. He had to appoint Tadesse Varede. So it seemed that Ethiopian PM suffered a setback. He could not confront TPLF. But in the end, the agreement which has been signed between Tadesse Varede and the federal government is indicative of the smart move which Ethiopian federal government has made. TPLF is going to be in trouble, I believe. Why is that no one from TPLF was invited to Tadesse Varede's inauguration ceremony? No one from Tigray, neither TPLF nor any opposition party, no civil society. So the agreement was between two parties, federal government and Tigray military, in the presence of international players, foreign diplomats. It means that TPLF, which was a main player in Tigray, it was TPLF which signed Pretoria deal with the Ethiopian federal government. Now it is no more a player in black and white. In black and white, Tigray military is the main player. Varede is not part of TPLF. He is part of Tigray military. He will implement this 8-point agreement. Where is TPLF? We need to analyze this agreement in detail, I think. So what I reported a few days ago, I said that 8-point agreement has been reached between federal government and PM Abiy, federal government and Tadesse Varede, almost confirmed, partially confirmed. Most of the points in today's agreement I mentioned in that video a few days ago. So you should give credit to my sources. Whenever one of the news stories I make is not proven, people say, Sajid, you reported this. Not proven. But dozens of other have been proven, and I don't get the credit I deserve, I think, especially my sources. They deserve the credit because once you give credit to them, it supports them, I think, and it gives them the support to go on. Anyway, as I said, DDR is the main point mentioned in the agreement. It's at number 2. At number 1, return of IDPs, not surprising. At number 2 is DDR. Federal government of Ethiopia wants DDR to be implemented. I mentioned that in that video. DDR is not linked to withdrawal of non-ENDF forces in this agreement. DDR is not linked to return of Humera Volkai Sagade to Tigray. Document is clear where they will have to implement the DDR. He agreed. He agreed to implement it. And in recent months, before Getacheo's removal, Getachew was being accused that he was dismantling military in the form of DDR while IDPs had not returned, while Volkayet and Humera had not come under Tigray control. Now, where are they agreeing to implement DDR without talking about Humera Volkayet? So, Tigray military, TPLF wanted power. They were using the issue of IDPs, using the issue of DDR just to malign Getachew. Third point, where they will ensure that TPLF is not in contact with Eritrea. Eritrea not mentioned, but one point clearly mentions that no alliances, no relations, no contacts against sovereignty of Ethiopia, against national interests will be allowed. Where they will implement it. It means TPL, if federal government comes to know of any contacts between TPLF and Eritrea, federal government will ask whether they to implement the agreement and cut off the links and hold people accountable, TPLF accountable if it contacts Eritrea. That is what I'm saying. It's a smart agreement from federal government point of view. Third point. Fourth point. National dialogue. Very interesting. Abiy has forced Tigray to participate in national dialogue. Dialogue which is being boycotted by everyone. Boycotted by ONLF, OFC, OLF. Boycotted by Fano, Ola, everyone. But in this agreement, Tigray has been bound to be part of the national consultation. Again, it's not in the favor of Tigray to be under some sort of obligation to be part of national dialogue. Again, federal government smart move. Federal government is forcing Tigray to participate in national dialogue. Last point, very important point, is about election. Where they will create conditions for election in Tigray. Free, transparent election. It means where they will have to give equal footing to all the political parties in Tigray, including Prosperity Party, including opposition parties. TPLF alone cannot be given the playing field to dominate it. Now, Varade is bound to give equal importance to all the political parties in Tigray. And if he implements this part of the agreement, what will TPLF do? Will TPLF accept that? If it does not, what will Varade do? What will Tigray military do? It's a very important agreement. If it is fully implemented, you'll see TPLF's political status, TPLF's political influence decrease in Tigray. If military backs Varade and Varade implements this agreement signed with federal government, TPLF could be in real trouble. If Varade does not implement the agreement, federal government will force him to implement it. Federal government will use methods to put pressure upon Varade. Federal government would say, you committed to implement it. Now you are violating your commitment. International players will also say, you committed. Now you are violating your commitment. So, I think Tigray military has been given a task which is difficult to be fulfilled by Tigray military. Illegal mining will be targeted too. It is mentioned in the document that illegal activities will be uh, the action will be taken against illegal activities. Illegal mining will have to be stopped. Those who are beneficiaries of illegal mining from TPLF, from Tigray military, they will have to stop their activities. They could be punished. So, from federal government's perspective, I think it's an achievement that it made Tigray military to agree to this agreement, which is, I think, I called Pretoria deal of capitulation for TPLF. I think this deal, I don't know if deal is the right word, but this mandate given to Tadesse Varade perhaps is more dangerous to TPLF than Pretoria. Perhaps today I might sound as if I'm an alarmist, sensationalist, but if you closely read the agreement, there is nothing in this agreement for TPLF if it is fully implemented by Tadesse Varade. TPLF holding discussion, let's see what it will do. I think now it would like its man to lead military, so that when Varade takes action not liked by TPLF, TPLF backed man in charge of military will force Varade to stop the action. Who will replace Varade as the commander in chief of military? Let's see. Thank you for watching.